Could career misalignment be the reason success suddenly feels heavier instead of energizing? Stay tuned for how to recognize the signal before burnout takes hold. Welcome back to the Resilient MD, the podcast and YouTube channel where we have honest conversations about medicine, burnout, resilience, and how to care for others without losing ourselves in the process. I'm Dr. Anna McDowell, certified life coach, allergist, and guide for physicians navigating seasons of quiet transformation. Today's episode is about the very first stage of change, the one that often arrives before burnout, before clarity, and before any visible decisions made. I'm calling it the signal. Have you ever gone through a phase when nothing is wrong, but nothing feels right either? Before anyone enters a phase of transformation, before there's rest or reinvention or clarity, something else usually happens. Many women physicians and high achieving women in general really reach a point in mid career where they start feeling uncomfortable. Not burnout in the dramatic sense of it. Not unhappy in a way they can easily explain, just unsettled. You might feel restless or flat, or maybe oddly disconnected from the work you once loved. You may feel stuck, but you can't point to a clear reason why. Because on paper, everything looks fine. You're competent, you're successful, you're respected, you did what you were supposed to do. You checked all the boxes, you have the family, you have the success, you have the career. And that is what makes the stage so confusing because when nothing is quote unquote wrong, we assume the discomfort must be coming from us. Many high achieving women struggle to name this. Women physicians are especially skilled at pushing through discomfort. We're trained to override hunger, fatigue, emotion, intuition. I remember during residence always carrying some hard candy in my pocket just when I felt hypoglycemic because I never knew when I was going to be able to have a meal. And many times I just had enough time to eat a quick snack. So whenever I felt that dizziness coming through, I like popped that sucker in my mouth. And the reality is that we are rewarded for endurance, not attunement. We learn early that feelings are secondary to performance. So when this subtle discomfort shows up, the reflect is often, I just need a vacation. I should be more grateful. I can't complain. Other people have it worse than me. But what if this discomfort isn't weakness? What if it's information? What if your body and mind are signaling that something about your current pace, identity, or structure no longer fits the person you are becoming? This isn't failure. It's not ingratitude. And it's not pathology. You are not sick. It's awareness beginning to surface. Because the reality is, the body often knows before the mind. One of the most important things I want you to hear is this: the body often recognizes misalignment before the mind has language for it. So the signal may show up as chronic fatigue. And I am not talking about chronic fatigue syndrome here. I am talking about you being tired all the time because you're so busy and don't even have time to rest. Another way is that It may show up as irritability or lack of motivation or brain fog or anxiety without a clear trigger, or even as a sense of I can't keep doing this the same way. And because you are used to functioning at a high level, you may keep going anyway, while quietly feeling like something inside you is lagging behind. This doesn't mean you need to make a drastic decision today. It means your system is asking you to listen. If you're a mid career woman physician who feels frustrated at work, emotionally drained, or quietly burned out, this is for you. Not because you're failing, but because you've been carrying too much for too long. The Resilient MD is a 6-week one-on-one coaching program created to help women physicians reclaim their time, energy, and sense of agency. We focus on the thoughts driving your stress, the actions that keep you stuck, and the mindset shifts that create meaningful, lasting changes. As 2026 begins, you don't need a resolution rooted in guilt or pressure. You deserve one rooted in care. This is not about forcing transformation, it's about easing into it with guidance, structure, and compassion. If you're ready to make this year count in a way that actually feels supportive, you can begin simply by signing up for the Resilient MD. You don't have to do this alone anymore. I want to make an important distinction. This stage is not always burnout. Burnout is what happens when signals are ignored for too long. This stage is earlier than that, it's softer, it's quieter. It's the moment when the role that once fit you perfectly starts to feel tight, when success no longer feels energizing, when the version of you that got you where you are right now doesn't feel sustainable anymore. And because you are capable, you may try to solve this by pushing harder or adding something new, a new goal, a new certification, a new role perhaps. But the signal isn't asking for more. It's asking for alignment. This is the most critical stage of transformation, and unfortunately, the one that's most often skipped. If you ignore the signal, the body eventually escalates. If you override it, then burnout becomes more likely. If you shame yourself for feeling it, the discomfort deepens. If you pause here, if you name what's happening, you create space for a different kind of change, a conscious one. This is where transformation begins without crisis, where evolution can be gentle instead of explosive, where you don't have to burn everything down to become someone new. That is what we want. I want to leave you with a reflection, not to answer quickly, but to sit with you over time. Where in my life do I feel discomfort without a clear explanation? Think about it. Reflect without judgment. Do not try to fix it, just notice. Because remember, awareness always comes before change. If you're feeling unsettled, restless, or quietly questioning your path, nothing has gone wrong. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not failing. You are receiving a signal. And in this butterfly year, we honor signals instead of silencing them. This is my butterfly year. When I choose alignment over urgency and allow myself to become gently and without force. I want that for you too. If this episode resonates, please share it with a colleague who may be quietly receiving the same signal. And next week, we will talk about what happens after the signal, the phase where you are no longer who you were, but not yet who you're becoming. That's the cocoon phase. Oh, and one more thing. Before you go, make sure you snag that time saving guide that goes with the time management series. It's like a mini roadmap to help you get back 10 plus hours a week. Yes, really. Head to annamcdowell.com/guide or use the link in the description below. And if this episode gave you something valuable, would you share the love? A quick 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or your favorite platform and a like on YouTube helps spread the word and keeps this content coming your way. And don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss any of the episodes. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. And thank you for trusting yourself enough to notice what's stirring. I'm Dr. Anna McDowell, a resilient MD just like you. I will see you next week.